Good day, I'm Marshawn Chrysler, and this is WAJ Jackson News. Here are today's top stories. Mayor Tony Yarber and the Jackson City Council recently have approved a program manager for the Infrastructure Improvement Program. The professional services contract with Integrated Management Systems, PA, was recently approved. This paves the way for more work to begin on the comprehensive infrastructure plan that will be funded in part through the 1% sales tax. In other news, the Jackson City Council and Mayor Tony T. Yarber have approved a new open data and performance portal. The portal will give the public more access to data and information via the city website. The portal is the final step in the city's participation in the What Works City initiative. The national initiative was launched this year to enhance cities' use of data and evidence to improve residents' lives. Jackson was selected as the first cohort of 8 cities nationwide. This week's commentary from the mayor features an update on multi-million-dollar development in Jackson.
Jackson, Mississippi, let me congratulate you on the progress that you're making. Behind me is the Meridian, and it is an example of that progress. Projects just like this one are happening all around the city, and we're excited to talk about it today. Behind me is a $31 million project. So far, we're seeing about 90 jobs that have already started as a result of this. By the time this is completed, we'd have seen at least 200 more jobs that have been added, and those don't even speak to the jobs that will happen as a result of maintenance and upkeep of this particular building. The University of Mississippi Medical Center, they're looking to be able to utilize this particular space, not only for retail, but also to attract doctors and to attract nurses and other healthcare professionals. This is exactly what we're talking about in the city, where everybody gets an opportunity to make their stake and claim in the capital of Mississippi. So Jackson, Mississippi, keep up the great work. There's more to come.
Thanks for the update, Mayor. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
What a day, what a day. Time to go. Let's make haste. Not a second to lose, not a moment to waste. A big cat, a great ape, and a sleepy giraffe. Don't stop now, time to go. Let's make smiles and share laughs. Time with mom, fun with dad. That's a cougar, it is. Snap a pic with the fam. What a day to be kids. Lots more stuff to explore. We'll soon be on our way. Let's get cool souvenirs to remember the day. Hit the carousel now. Let's go round and around. Hey, what's under the glass? Oh, and look what I found. Frozen drinks to cool off, and if that's not enough, a fun water slide and a cool splash pad and stuff. Look at that, here we go. We can ride on a train. I don't know about you, I've got zoo on the brain. What a day, what a day. Lots to see, lots to do. Just one question to ask. How do you zoo?
Welcome back to WAJ News. We have in the studio with us now Mr. Justin Bruce, the Director of the Office of Innovation and Performance, to discuss with us What Works Cities initiative. Welcome, Mr. Bruce.
How are you? Great to be here.
So great to have you in the studio, and we're certainly excited about the information you're about to share with our viewers. And as I say it during this segment every week, is that we sort of leave this open to our guests to kind of come as they will and talk about anything that is pertaining to things that are going on certainly in the city of Jackson. And so we're going to open the floor up to you and just tell us a bit about What Works City.
Yeah, man, What Works Cities is a national initiative that Bloomberg Philanthropies launched back in August of this year. And Jackson was one of the first 8 cities to be selected in that program. Since then, we've kind of gone through a gambit of tasks dealing with open data and also performance measurement, in which we've really kind of revolutionized the way the city of Jackson kind of processes data and evidence. So we've implemented processes for an open data policy. We've got that executive order signed in by our mayor. I also have the council who just presented an ordinance to make open data actually something that is systemic in the city, which is really amazing. And then in performance management, we've really tuned up our practices for accountability and transparency within our departments, with our divisions and supervisors as well. So right now we're excited. We're excited to say that we're the first city that's going to be finished with the initiative nationwide. We're really excited about the progress and The process that we went through, we think we learned a lot. We think we've gained a lot. But now the real works begin. When we signed on to What Works, we made a commitment that we would be open and transparent with our citizens, and that we would provide to them a mechanism in which they could actually see some of the things we were doing. And so now we're getting ready to ramp up that particular part of this initiative. We've placed before council a contract to acquire a portal provider, which was at no cost to the city, thank goodness, due to grant money. And they approved that proposal. So now we're moving forward in contacts with that provider, making sure that we identify key information that our citizens want to see, what they want to know. And really we're going to start to see some things change as far as citizens being able to literally say, hey, my mayor told me 2 months ago he was going to pave my street. Now I'm looking at this performance dashboard and it says that they've started the process and they'll be complete on this day and that it cost the city this much money. And all those good things that people seem to care about or have at least told us that they want to know. So we're excited about that. We think it's going to be very revolutionary in the way that this administration and even our city departments communicate with our citizens going forward.
Well, as your title suggests, certainly sounds very innovative, quite frankly. And one of the things that I ask, you know, in your opinion, what are the two most significant advantages to having open data?
Yeah, I think when you start talking about the advantages, you can go a number of places. But let's just talk about what's going to hit people at home. And let's talk about how, you know, a year or so ago, our citizens signed off on this 1% sales tax. And throughout that process, we've had the pleasure of this administration crafting that infrastructure master plan, crafting projects and initiatives, you know, that are going to last for the next 5 to 10 years. So when we talk about that money and we talk about those projects, you know, it's safe to say that citizens really don't have a real bird's eye view of how that processing goes or how that timeline looks. And so you'll be able to turn out public-facing information that lets people understand, hey, this project, you know, it's part of the infrastructure master plan. It's set to begin March of 2016. It's going to be complete August of 2016, you know, and they'll be able to track your progress through all the stages of that particular project, that particular initiative. And we'll be able to do that with numerous things, but most importantly, when we talk about speaking the language that our citizens understand, we talk about making things very, very plain and easy for them to understand, especially about how we're really tracking towards really meeting the goals and the expectations that they've set before us as an administration.
Awesome. And I want to pivot back to one of the things you talked about, and you brought up the word transparency. And just speak a bit about, because I know for a fact that Mayor Yarborough certainly ran on that as a platform issue, that he would certainly be transparent, but certainly communicate to the viewers why transparency is so important in government.
Yeah, transparency, for lack of better words, eliminates the malarkey and the politics. It puts us in a place where we're having conversations about facts and not having conversations in our feelings or in our emotional states, in which we could tend to be a little upset when we find things out. It really puts us back in a place where we say everybody's on an equal playing field. Hey, you've got the information that I have. I want you to understand why I made this decision. I want you to understand what the data and the facts say about this particular initiative or this particular program or this department, division, or even, you know, when we're talking about personnel choices, what the data says about this person's job, their practices or the tasks that they complete, and their ability to complete those tasks in an excellent fashion.
Sure.
So when we start talking about making major decisions that citizens are going to hold us accountable for, we start talking about how great this transparency additive is for the city, and how it keeps all of us really out of trouble. If I'm honest.
And if I'm hearing you correctly, it really speaks to this notion of trust.
Yeah.
And I imagine with this open data process is just one mechanism, if you will, to build or rebuild the trust as it would be. And so that's exciting to know that, and I know the viewers certainly appreciate that, because I know you and I, through our experience, know that in this climate, today's climate, that trust has been strained, to say the least, throughout the nation, quite frankly. And so I applaud Mayor Yarber for his commitment to this transparency process. But not only that, making the citizens the #1 priority, quite frankly, and making sure this information is disseminated. And so it's good to hear you say that. And I know you mentioned, if I heard you correctly, that Jackson is one of first two cities to do this?
Well, we were selected one of the first 8.
What, first 8? Okay.
To be selected. We're actually the first city to complete our engagement, though.
To complete the engagement.
Which is really, really good.
Right.
It means that we stuck to what we said we were going to do. We dug in deep, we pushed, and hurt a little bit in our departments to add a little weight to their shoulders, but we got the job done as we expect to do anytime we're faced with a challenge.
Well, I'm sure and I'm confident that this will be one of many firsts for the city of Jackson, based on Mayor Yarber's appointment of you to the role in which you're in, and speaks volumes that, you know, innovation, technology, and things of those caliber are higher on his priority list to make sure that we're talking with the citizens in a voice that not only can be heard, but it can be seen, quite frankly. And so those efforts are very important. But what else you want to share with us? Anything else you want? Final thoughts about this process, and what's the next steps?
Yeah, I think that people should understand that the next step here is for us to actually begin planning the process of actually presenting something to our citizens that's meaningful and useful. Excellent. So over the next few months, they'll begin to see the rollout of this data portal, this performance dashboard, and our citizens will be able to really celebrate and tout that Jackson, Mississippi was the first city in Mississippi to enact an open data policy, and also the first city in Mississippi to do anything of this magnitude or this nature dealing with transparency, data, and evidence. So we're definitely on the cutting edge of leadership. We're definitely pushing the envelope. And thanks goes to Mayor Yarber for really sticking behind this initiative, and Bloomberg Philanthropies for believing in Jackson and continuing to support us. Well,
this is exciting news. We want to thank you, Mr. Bruce, for being here in our studios today and sharing this wonderful information. And I know we'll have you back in the very near future to talk about some other innovative ways that Jackson is, again, as you say, leading the nation in some of these areas. So it's always good being first. First is a good place to be.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
Hi, I'm Mayor Tony Yarber.
And I'm Jackson Police Chief Lee Vance.
Here in the city of Jackson, we recognize that you're our #1 crime-fighting resource. So we're providing you with a tool to help us respond to criminal activity in a timely manner.
Tip 411 allows residents to text or submit crime tips. Your name is not important, your information is. Officers will receive your messages and react in real time.
My #1 priority is your safety. This tool helps us work together to make Jackson a safer place.
What a day, what a day. Time to go. Let's make haste. Not a second to lose, not a moment to waste. A big cat, a great ape, and a sleepy giraffe. Don't stop now, time to go. Let's make smiles and share laughs. Time with mom, fun with dad. That's a cougar, it is. Snap a pic with the fam. What a day to be kids. Lots more stuff to explore. We'll soon be on our way. Let's get cool souvenirs to remember the day. Hit the carousel now. Let's go round and around. Hey, what's under the glass? Oh, and look what I found. Frozen drinks to cool off, and if that's not enough, a fun water slide and a cool splash pad and stuff. Look at that, here we go. We can ride on a train. I don't know about you, I've got zoo on the brain. What a day, what a day. Lots to see, lots to do. Just one question to ask. How do you zoo?
Welcome back to WAJ News. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to speak with owners of Cathead Vodka's Distillery, which recently moved from Madison to operate in Jackson. Here's what they had to say. Well, let me just ask y'all in your own words, this move, this huge move, as we say it around Jackson, that you all made. What does it mean for your company to be in Jackson?
I mean, it means everything to us. Just on the base principles, we needed more space. So throw that aside, we're really excited to be in Jackson. The city has been overwhelmingly supportive of us, and we hope to carry that torch, that energy that the city has given us, and really have a place to showcase tours and tastings, and maybe a tourism ag side to the business that we haven't been able to showcase yet.
Fantastic. And talk about, is it any type of future plans for expansion? Y'all moving so fast, so we had to ask these questions. You got any future plans of expansion, doing some other things with the distillery?
Yeah, we're gonna, besides the Cathead vodka that we currently make, we're gonna move into bourbon and start laying down whiskey for future products to come. Of course, it takes a while for the whiskey to mature, but one day we'll be able to put it out.
Fantastic. Tell the viewers now, how long have this plan been in action? I know y'all.
So we've had Cathead Distillery up and running since May of 2010, and then been in Madison since right now, which is 5.5 years.
Okay. Well, again, talk to the viewers a bit about the lack of having to commute. I know you mentioned that in your remarks. How big of a deal
Yeah, I wasn't really trying to take jabs at Madison, but I mean, as Austin and I are residents of Jackson, we're really excited to have our business in our backyard, essentially, and that means a lot to us. Quality of life. I mean, just yesterday, I had to run out and do a couple of errands and went to the post office, the bank, and got lunch, and that took about 45 minutes, whereas that would probably take me an hour and a half in Madison. So maybe that's just where we were located, but it's you hear like new developments as eat, shop, live, work, play. I mean, that's what this city is, and it might be taken for granted sometimes, but since we're new to it, on the business side, it certainly was evident to me yesterday how exciting it was to be able to be efficient and work a lot faster. So.
Well, the optimum word for the millennium is convenience. So I think I'm hearing you say that. So it's nothing like being convenient. Well, y'all have any final remarks you want to say?
Just being born and raised in Jackson, to have a dream to finally have a business in Jackson, it's nice to see it finally come true.
Yeah, we're really excited to, in the future, have the back label of all of our products say Hinds County and Jackson, Mississippi. So that's really exciting for us. And, outside of being a local product, hopefully we can bring honor and respect to Jackson on a different scale with, very reputable products throughout the country.
Thanks, guys. During this festive season in the city of Jackson, the annual Christmas parade drew a massive crowd. Numerous high school bands and dozens of local organizations and groups had floats in the parade. The Grand Marshal was Sunday best winner Dathan Thigpen. He traveled the parade route on the hoverboard, greeting onlookers. Mayor Tony T. Yarber and his family also walked the parade route, greeting citizens and wishing them a happy holiday. The Public Works Department Pothole Patrol continues to make daily rounds to address problems on city streets. Now the public can get a list of streets getting repaired each day. Just visit the city website at www.jacksonmiss.gov to find out if your street is on the list. Residents are encouraged to call 311 to report a pothole. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
AmeriCorps strengthens communities and develops leaders through community service. Are you ready to make a difference? AmeriCorps allows you to use your energy and talents to help others while earning money and gaining job skills. If you are age 18 or older, AmeriCorps is waiting for you.
Welcome back to WAJ News. Now let's turn our attention to Dr. Timothy Quinn with Healthy Jackson.
Well, today we're going to talk about Mayor Tony Yarber's task force for a healthier Jackson and just kind of brag about how successful we've been. So far, we've been in about 15 churches, and we've helped a lot of people. And the main thing that we're coming across, we're having a lot of people that we screen to have elevated blood pressure, and not really that surprisingly, a lot of them don't even know it. The deal is, hypertension is known as the silent killer. And the reason for this is, in many cases, people don't have any symptoms at all. They feel great. But the deal is, me being a family physician, sometimes I'll go to the emergency room to see patients, and we'll have someone who had a stroke or a heart attack, and the family member is so surprised because they'll say that, you know, he was playing basketball or mowing the yard, just doing great, and, you know, he didn't have any symptoms at all. But when they do the test will reveal that this person has had long-term hypertension, but they didn't know it. That's why these screenings are so important, because we're able to identify people that have hypertension and not know it and help them get, you know, some type of follow-up treatment so they don't have to have a heart attack or the stroke. If you are interested in Mayor Tony Yarber's task force for a healthier Jackson coming to your place of worship, contact the city constituent services, ask for Mr. Tevin Stubbs. That's the city's constituent services, ask for Mr. Tevin Stubbs, and that number is 601-960-1084. That's 601-960-1084. And we'll come in, and we're working with the University of Mississippi Medical Center, and we have screeners on hand to make sure that your congregation is safe. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. Quinn. The City of Jackson is urging Jackson citizens to sign up for Emergency Alert System Code Red. The system informs you about emergencies and provides other alerts, including boil water notices and evacuation notices. Just visit the city's website at jacksonmiss.gov and click on Code Red. Help to keep our city safe by using Tip 411. Tip 411 allows residents to text or submit tips to the police anonymously. All you have to do is simply text your tip to 847-411 and begin the message with JPD. Remember that residents can submit a request for city services by dialing 311. 311 provides access to city services and city information. The Service Center allows requests for all non-emergency city services and is available to residents, city businesses, and visitors. From all of us here in the City of Jackson, we would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We are wishing you a safe holiday season, and we will return with new newscasts starting January 2016. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of WAJ We Are Jackson News. From everyone here, thank you for watching WAJ News. I'm Marshawn Chrysler. Good day, Jackson.